Hello, in this Solidity programming tutorial, we are going to look at contract, constructors, and constructor arguments. If you remember in the video on interfacing with other contracts, we created this simple, awesome contract. It had a unsigned integer variable, and it had a method just to get the value of that variable. And we just created a instance right here. And then when we click the set method, from our simple storage contract, we would just get that value from this contract. And as I mentioned in that video, when you do new awesome, which is what you have to do, very similar to what you might do with, let's say, a class in another programming language, you have this default method that's initially called, and that's the constructor method. So essentially it's called that because you're meant to be constructing your contract, and if you don't explicitly code a constructor method, the compiler adds one, but we're going to actually code it. So if I put function awesome, and the name of the constructor is just the same name as the contract, hence how this works, awesome method from the contract. And if in here we put in hello equals 7 now, and we can just get rid of this value. If we were to run that simple storage, create, click get, we get 0 because we haven't actually assigned the value from the awesome object. If I click set, get, now we get 7. So this, or even though we didn't explicitly call it constructor anywhere here, it gets called when we first create our contract. As I said at the start of the video, we are also going to cover constructor arguments, just the way you might assign a value, I mean passing a value or multiple values even into a method. A constructor is just a method. So pretty much anything you can do with any other method, you can do it with the constructor. So if I put in new int, I put in value, and I can assign value to it. So that's really awesome. Now this gives an error. So this is given an error because our constructor is different now. Because we don't have the default constructor, we've explicitly coded it, and in our version it requires a unsigned integer value. We haven't passed in a value. So as we have done with other methods in the past, you can just put a value in there. I want to put in 89, for example. And if I were to create this simple storage contract, click get, we get 0. Obviously it hasn't been set yet. If I click set, get, and we get 89, which is the value we got from here. And the way you might, like I said, with another method, do multiple parameters, you can do them in a constructor as well. So feel free to experiment with constructor arguments. They work the same way they do in regular function arguments, and just in general experiment with Solidity. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and as usual, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Solidity tutorial.